new video for you guys. I want to take a second to break down a video shoot we did, tell you about the lights, tell you about how we set it up, and why we made decisions for each of those moments, and maybe even a few things we learned. Check it out.
Be exalted, O Lord of my heart. There's no other. God of the broken be praised. Yes, be glorified here in my life. Be honored.
This was a shoot we did with Southland City Church, my home church. I absolutely love working with them. And I get to make content with their creative team on a regular basis, and they are outstanding. They don't need me to help edit or shoot or do any of this work. They actually do an amazing job on their own. But when I do have the blessing of getting to join them, it's always a really, really fun time. Let's start with the two singers on the side. To start, we actually lit them for a hair light with an Aperture 120D and a Light Dome Mini. And that was perfect. It was able to give them a nice soft light behind their head, but still separate them from their background. The thermostat drove me nuts, but it is there. Can't do anything about that. For their front light, they're actually lit mostly through the ambience of the window, as well as the side Aperture 120D as well. And that was enough to give their faces some light from the far side. And we used a bounce to give them the rest of that lift. Now, you'll see this whole room is actually pretty light, but we still wanted to get some contrast. The window coming in was pretty powerful, and for that reason, we used the front right side Aperture 120D at pretty much full power as our key, in addition to the light. I was able to bring enough light for everybody on that side to have a nice, soft, daylight balanced light. We did need to fill it though, and I didn't have enough lights to fill everybody with a different Aperture 120D with a dome or anything like that. And for that reason, we have this entire side sound blanket, partially to control the sound of a very reverby room, but also to provide some fill. And this sound blanket's been a really good purchase. I'm actually very happy with it. It's black on one side for negative fill, and a nice crisp white on the other side for a good bounce. And so we took one of our lights and blasted it straight in to there. And we actually used another aperture to do that.
You never stop working. You never stop working. And even when I don't see it, you're working. And even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop, you never stop, you never stop. 'Cause you are a way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Oh, you are a way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
To break down the cameras, we had 5, but 4 of them were for the music video specifically. We had Colin on the far right. He was shooting an 85mm, primarily handheld, really being able to just be nimble, pick the shots he was looking for, occasionally racking focus. And Colin did a great job. Love working with Colin. He is a young guy who's starting into the filmmaking world. Highly recommend checking him out because he's just gonna grow like crazy. Really fun working with him. Freshman in college, and he's gonna pass all of us in like a year. The second camera was to shoot the 2 singers in the back. And we used a 70-200 for that because it was a little bit more of a reach, but we wanted that as a constant angle as well. The third camera was a 50mm on a slider. In hindsight, we actually wish we would have gone with something more like a 35, but we did have a lot of lighting and stuff in there, so it was hard to get the full room without showing every bit of grip that we were working with as well. So we wish it was a little wider, but the 50 I still think looks really good. Lastly, I was on the FX9. It was locked off, but we kept the head fairly fluid. That way it felt a little bit more organic. That was the FX9, 85mm, and if I remember correctly, it was at an f2. The color temperature for this entire shoot was 4800, and I think that actually ended up working out really well for the tones in everybody's faces. In post, we did lift the shadows a little bit and actually brought the mid-tones down a little bit. Lastly, it was color graded with a LUT that I really like, and that's the Timbre LUTs by White and Reverie, specifically Timbre number 5. And I think those actually do a really good job with the S Cinetone and Picture Profile 1 on the Alpha cameras, specifically Movie is the color science for that one.
To me, here in this moment, what you're speaking, I believe. You've always been faithful, yes you have, always been with me. Open my eyes to see the breakthrough that is coming. Stir up the faith.
So I hope this was helpful for you guys, understanding how we took this little miniature acoustic music video shoot and brought it into you guys to understand how we shot it, why we shot it, and the lens choices we had behind that. You know, having some of those tight angles to really create some more depth and a little bit more focus, and then those wider shots to give you a little bit more context of the entire, you know, 5-person band that was contributing to the music. If you guys like this, let me know. I will be happy to break down other shoots that we've done as well, kind of giving you some of those behind the scenes shots in addition to breaking down the lighting, the grip, and how we shot it and why we shot it. Let me know, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. We'll see you on the next one.
How great